Part 2 of the inventory analysis and procurement feature is the actual inventory procurement, which basically means to replenish your inventory, and we can do that in one of two ways, either with purchase orders or by inventory warehouse transfers. In the first part, we covered the report, which basically is an analysis of your inventory. Now if you click on the option Inventory Procurement, we can get into the next option, which is creating an inventory procurement batch. Once a batch is created, you can pull up the batch via the feature Inventory Control and then Inventory Procurement Maintenance. And also, once you create it initially, it brings you into that same feature. Hence, we're covering those two features with this video. Let's first start off with scenario 1, in which we are replenishing the goods in our main warehouse, and we'd like to automatically generate purchase orders for the goods that we want to create. So what we'll do, or goods we want to procure, so what we want to do is just go ahead and click OK. We can leave the settings as they are, and we're creating an inventory procurement batch for the main warehouse. And what the system is basically doing is looking at the reorder levels and reorder quantities as they relate to each product, and how much of those units are what we call available soon. To understand what available soon means, let's take a look at this little WordPad document I prepared. And here you can see available soon is going to equal your units on hand minus your units on sales orders, meaning how many units you have currently committed to your customers but have not yet shipped them. Those are your available units. And soon, or as we like to call it, available soon, equals your available minus units that you have on back order for your customers, customer back orders that is, minus what units you have on order. That would be plus units that you have on order, because those units will be coming in. You want to include those because you don't want to reorder the same orders that are coming in. So that's what those terms mean. And now if we get back to it, let's take a look at the inventory procurement batch that we created for the main warehouse. But before we do that, I'm going to tell it that when I replenish this batch, I want to use as a source purchase orders rather than use another warehouse. So we'll go ahead and we'll select the batch that we have here, which it just created for us. And the system takes a look and it sees that these are the products that we need to reorder. Target indicates how many units we currently have on hand in the target warehouse, meaning the warehouse that we've done the inventory procurement batch for. And you can see you can see what that is by looking at the location column here, and it indicates that it's for the main warehouse. For Stapler 101, you can see it came up with a reorder quantity of 799. To understand how that is calculated, what we should do is let's take a look at the inventory reorder level for that item. A nice way to do it is the inventory location maintenance feature. You could also do it in regular inventory maintenance on the locations tab. And I'm going to go ahead and put in main, and we'll see that for the first item we have, let's just take another look at that screen. It's Stapler 101, okay, and let's go back and look at Stapler 101, and we can see available soon is 201 units, and our reorder level is 1,000 units. So obviously 1,000 units minus 201 gives us 799. Okay, so that's how that 799 is calculated. Now, one other way you can calculate it is if we make an entry in reorder quantity. If we make an entry in reorder quantity, it will always set that as the reorder quantity, and it will not calculate it. If we have a 0 in reorder quantity, then it will calculate it off of the reorder level. So let's go back. This is what, stapler 104. Let's see if it has an entry for that, and if it does, it should be 24. And no, stapler 104 does not has not reached its reorder level, so it's not included. If you wanted to review that item anyway and maybe reorder it anyway, you can click the hide zero quantity products off, and you'll see the other items that do not need to be reordered at this point. I'm going to go ahead and put that back on so we can just focus on the ones that we want to deal with today. Next item to understand is that this include checkbox correlates to the automatic purchase order creation or inventory transfer on this screen, which is also the same as the inventory locations tab in inventory maintenance. So if a product you don't want it to automatically reorder or participate in the inventory procurement system, what you can do is you can simply uncheck it, and then it would not be included. And if you wanted to override it, you can simply click it off, or you could also delete it just by deleting it like that. I'm going to say no because I don't want to delete it. And now we are actually ready to create purchase orders from this batch. Keep in mind, if you've made a mistake and you really don't want to use this batch and want to recreate a new batch, you delete the batch by first unhiding all the zero quantity products, and then you select the entire grid like that, and then you hit the delete key to delete all of the items, and the batch will be deleted. You may need to exit out and refresh your screen because the drop down box will still show you those deleted items, or you can just hit F9 on your keyboard and it would refresh the drop down box. Okay, let's continue and let's go ahead and automatically create purchase orders for these products. And what I'm going to do is hide the zero quantity products, and you can see we have vendor codes established for these items, and we also have vendor part numbers. If you want to use a different vendor, you can go ahead and click into here and you can indicate a different vendor to use. We're going to leave all those items there, and just taking a look at some other information off to the right. Alright, so let's go ahead and hit process. And the system says, are you sure you want to create purchase orders now? I say yes. On the top it shows you creating purchase orders 103, 203, 303. It says process complete. That batch has now been deleted and removed because we have created the purchase orders for it. So you can see there's no batches listed anymore underneath there. Why don't we go ahead and close this, and let's go into purchase orders and take a look at one of the purchase orders that the system has created for these new items that we'd like to bring back into our inventory. Okay, so here's one for Dave Pellegrino. Here's the one for $7.99 quantity for Acme Importers. Okay, so you can see it did create the purchase order, so we'll go ahead and close this out. And we'll also close this screen out. And that concludes part 2 of the inventory analysis and procurement. Part 3 is going to pick up on the inventory procurement maintenance.